Draksharamam is located at a distance of 28 km from Kakinada, 50 km from Rajahmundry and 25 km from Amalapuram. Throughout the length and breadth of the sacred Mother India, there are many pilgrim centers. From amongst them Draksharama is the one in the southern India on the eastern bank of the river Godavari. It is colloquially known as Draksharama, carrying the implied meaning as Draksharama, meaning the abode of Daksha Prajapati, the father-in-law of Lord Shiva and the beloved father of Sati, the spiritual spouse of Lord Shiva. The history of the sacred pilgrimage is exhaustively dealt with in the Skanda Purana of Shri Vyasa. To give a brief narration of the same, the story goes thus. Once Daksha Prajapati decided to perform a yaga. Shri Bonsoir Temple is the abode of Lord Bonsoir Swami Lord Shiva, and his consort goddess Manikyamba. Shri Bonsoir Swami Temple is located at Draksharamam, East Godavari District, Andhra Pradesh, India. The main deity of the temple is in the form of linga of 2.6 meters height, which is said to be of one large crystal known as Spatikalinga. The Bonsoir Swami Temple in this town is one of the 5 powerful temples of Lord Shiva, known as Panchramakshras. The temple is popularly known as Dakshina Kazikshram. Draksharama Temple is one of the 5 powerful temples of Lord Shiva known as Panchramas in Andhra Pradesh. This is near Ramakandrapuram. The temple is very big and has 3 circles as compounds. This is also under control of Archaeological Department. Lord Sri Rama worshipped Lord Shiva here. Next followed by Lord Surya and Indra. Manikyamba Devi, one of 18 Shaktipithas, is present here. History of the temple. Shri Bonsoir Temple, Draksharama, was constructed by Eastern Chalukyan Kingdom in the period 892 AD to 902 AD and also consecrated the Shiva Linga and called as Lord Bonsoir after his own name. Draksharama Temple was developed and patronized by many royal dynasties like Eastern Chalukyas, Kalyani Chalukyas, Golas, Eastern Gangas, Kakadiyas, Reddy Kings and Vijayanagas, as well as some minor dynasties. Description of the temple. Shri Bonsoir Temple consists of 2-story temple having viprakaras. The temple can be approached by 4 entrances on the cardinal directions. The temple is situated inside 2 enclosures. It contains a flight of steps to go the first floor. The lofty linga elevated from the ground floor and the actual worship is offered at the first floor only. On the upper floor, pillars having carved images like Nataraja, Kiratarjuna, Parvati Devi and etc. Important festivals. The main festival of the Bonsoir Temple is Mahashivaratri festival. The festival is observed on 28th day of Magha Masam, February/March every year. On this day thousands of people visit the temple and worship the Lord, which includes observing fast and keeping awake Jagram all the night, reciting Pamkshari or reading Shiva Puranas. In pursuance of the same, he had been to Kailasa to invite gods and goddesses to sanctify his yajna and accept his hospitality. But when he had been there, Lord Shiva was in his court immersed in his spiritual splendor. But Daksha Prajapati, out of his ego of being the father-in-law of Lord Shiva, mistook the Lord's trance as indifference towards him. So, being put out at the difference of his son-in-law, he came back without inviting the Lord and the lady to his sacrifice. Sati in her womanish nature requested Shiva to permit her to attend the sacrifice at her parental home, even uninvited, and have the pleasure of the performance and the association of her kith and kin. But Shiva explained her the tragic implications that she might have to face at her parental house and let her to at her own wish. But, when she actually stepped into her parental home, none greeted her or even just asked her a mutual exchange of her well-being. Then Sati was put out with the humiliation she had to face amidst her own blood, and then and there, decided to give up her body instead of facing her beloved husband with a fallen face. So, she gave up her body then and there and fell down dead. Shiva, having come to know of the tragic end, sent his son Virabhadra to boot down the ego of Daksha. Shiva in his pangs of separation with Sati came down to her dead body and shouldered the corpse over his shoulders and danced in Pralaya Thandava apostrophe. At this juncture, the Lord Vishnu, the presenting force of universe, sent his chakra to cut down the body of Sati and redeem the grief of Lord Shiva. The chakra came and cut the body of Sati into 18 pieces, feel in 18 parts of this Punyabhumi of ours, and came to be known as Ashtadasapithas, and out of these 18 Shri Manakiyamba of Draksharama is the 12th. This holy pilgrimage is one of the rare few, where the god and goddess are equally important. One is Varanasi in northern India with Viswanatha and Annapurna. Second is Srialam in southern India with Sri Mallikarjuna and Brahmaramba, and third is Draksharama with Bhimanata and Manakiyamba. There are many mythological anecdotes scattered in many of the sacred Puranas about this Swayambhu aspect of the Lord's existence here. One of many is for once who is curious to know that Bhimanata came down from Kailasa and settled here at the request of Parvati herself, who happened to be the daughter of Daksa. The historical aspect of the temple goes from the 13th century onwards. This temple is one of the Panchramas. This is an ancient and holy pagoda. This is one of the reputed pilgrim centers in Andhra Pradesh. Thousands of pilgrims and devotees visit the temple and worship the Lord to receive blessings. This temple is a protected monument. The archaeological department has to undertake the renovation works of this temple to create beauty and divine atmosphere. The wealth of inscriptions and epigraphical details that can be glanced from the inscriptions on the walls of this temple are a paradise for the epigraphist and the historian. This temple is managed by the executive officer under the control of the endowments departments. Devi Navaratrilu, Karthika Masam, Dhanurmasam, birthday celebration of Shri Bonsoir Swami Varu, Subramanya Shasti, Mahashivaratri and Kalyanam etc., are the important festivals of this temple.
Turn right. No, turn right.